Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. We're going to do a little technical analysis. We're going to look at the NASDAQ futures. As you guys know, I trade options as well as futures. With options, I use Thinkorswim platform, TD Ameritrade. So that's where I have my cash, the majority of my personal money in my personal account. And then I also trade futures with various different prop firms. So funded with 3 different prop firms. Kind of use them all to kind of spread out my risk and kind of allocate different, different portfolio sizes in each account. So I'm always constantly trading futures, watching the futures. What we're looking at here in the NASDAQ/NQ, currently trading at 13,276, down 43 handles on the day. Now, one thing that I kind of do want to point out, we are at the upper half, the upper portion of this range here. So if we kind of look at that 13,350 area, it's that upper Bollinger Band. It's all the way at the top of the range here. You can see the last 3 days getting a nice push into this Bollinger Band here. But if I pull up my drawing tool, you can see rejection spots here, rejection spots here, rejection spots here. So if we kind of look at this whole area here and look at it as a zone, right? That's one thing that you guys need to start emphasizing and kind of really starting to key in on, right? Look at the weekly chart, look at the daily chart, start to draw those supply and demand zones, start to identify those areas where potentially we're going to stop, potentially where we could retrace, potentially where we could have some support. You know, if you were going long off the bell and you're not some sort of hyper aggressive micro scalper, you know, you have to be very, very cautious if you're just always constantly looking to play the breakout. Or if you're someone who likes to go short, for example, support here, as well as here, and then going back a little bit in time, we had some serious rejection here. So this old resistance is starting to act as new support here, right? So if we look at these 3 areas, you have to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt. When we do get into these areas, you have to expect the bounce until we break down and close below that on a daily candle. As soon as we start to break out, you have to start really closing, back testing, and then pushing off higher before you really start to just put all your risk to the middle of the table and start to play those big breakouts. So again, respect the bears in this upper area here. This area is going to act as some troublesome spots. This zone here, we could push back into 1314, right? I could see that potential push. So we do have another 100 points down before we do fall into some, rising daily support here on that 5-day moving average. Now, in the bull's defense, we could pull back. Okay, so we could pull back into this area. We could consolidate for 1 to 2 days, and then we could start to push higher. If we do start to push higher and we hold this low, use this low as a stop, and then start to ride these long positions back up to the north side here. Again, just because we're pulling back today does not mean that we're looking to get into a short position because we think that the world is coming to an end, right? So many traders, especially on social media, and especially, newer traders that are coming into this business, they think that one red day means that we're coming all the way back down. They think that, trading at the top of the range means that we're just going to continue to break and run for all-time highs. It's a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more trickier than that. So you got to kind of, accept the fact that price action is never going to go in a straight line to the upside. It's never going to go in a straight line to the downside, right? So if we kind of look at a smaller time frame, if we understand that we've got this supply up here, we understand we've got this demand down here, we need to go to a smaller time frame. We need to kind of look at exactly the bigger picture as to what is going on. So if we look at the 1 hour time frame, if we just kind of go back a couple of days here to last Thursday, we got this initial break over this supply zone and then kind of came all the way back down, consolidated. And then if you kind of look at Friday, we had a beautiful day on Friday, a nice run up to highs of 13,370, and now we're starting to pull back, right? So does anything about this chart look bearish yet? No, right? Yes. Are we pulling back? Of course. Was there a little opportunity to take maybe a scalp on a small time frame? Absolutely. But if we're talking about a big body of work, like, if we're going to start to, try to time the top and time the bottom. You can't really do that in this situation. We definitely have room to come down to 13,246, which is about 40 handles down, and then we've got room at 13,235, which is the linear regression kind of support here. So if we look at these two areas here, any close below 13,235 on an hour candle, on a daily candle, we've got a lot of room down to 13,168. This would be the short position that I'm going to want to be involved in here. Okay, this short position, you're going to want to take your profits on the way down. Remember, it does not have to touch 13,168. Just start to get in on here, start to build that position, start to scale in, and then start scaling off those profits as we approach that next demand zone. If you guys are curious as to how I'm finding these supply and demand zones, join my Discord. That link is down in the description box below. But if we kind of look at what we've got to the top side, we've got 1, 2, 3 hours, where we've been getting rejected around the 13,332 area. So if we're looking to kind of scalp, right? If we're looking for that day trade, we're looking for that scalp. What I'm really looking for here is 13,335. I'm looking for that break. And from there, we got about 15, 20 points up to the Bollinger Band at 13,350, right? So that's what we would be looking at for a scalp to the top side. Again, obviously, once we get over that 50 area, we've got more room into the 70s, which is this high wick here in last week's, high, right? So again, we can't really assume that the market is just going to continue to run until we start to break this high. As soon as we break this high, then we need to get that new high put in, we need to back test, and then we need to push off higher. So if we kind of look at the whole body of work just the last few days here, and I'll zoom out so we can get some more days on this chart. But if I kind of zoom out the past 3-4 days here, you can see we attempted this area one time, got rejected, pulled back. Once we finally confirmed this area, we consolidated, and now we're pulling back. So this is a classic break and retest. So if we look at here, if this was the first test, right, and then we finally get the break here, we get in some consolidation, and now we're starting to retest this initial breakout that came here. So if we come back down into the 13,240s area, if we come down into this area and we start to hold, and then you see a nice candle that starts to push higher, this is where you're going to want to put your chips on the table for the long side. You're going to want to use the low as your stop, because again, remember, if we do lose this area, we've got room down to 13,167. Obviously, this is your short position here, but again, just kind of wanted to cover some futures, kind of wanted to cover the NASDAQ 100, and as to what I think could potentially happen and what I potentially am looking for. If you guys are looking for one-on-one coaching, strategy building, risk management, mindset development, as well as to get into that live community where you guys can start to trade and chat with other traders, definitely join evolutiontraders.com. Definitely join the Discord if that's something you want to be a part of. All of those links and information are down below. If you guys are interested in trading futures, and maybe perhaps you don't have enough money to kind of get started and you don't want to kind of just jump 2 feet forward, then you guys could definitely try to get funded with a prop firm. I help a lot of people get funded with prop firms. Again, you have to show that you can trade and manage your risk well. Of course, they've got some rules that you need to abide by. There's a little bit of a commission split, but again, it's a great way to kind of add that extra revenue flow to your bottom line. Again, if you trade a personal account, you can trade your personal account, and then you can kind of flip over to the futures or trade these prop firms and kind of add that extra cash flow. Let's say, for example, maybe you did have a personal account and maybe you blew it up. You don't want to deposit any more money and you want to get back into the game, but you don't want to put a lot of your hard-earned cash on the table. A prop firm is another way that can give you that advantage. Again, you can trade someone else's money, trade the firm's money, make some profits, obviously withdraw those profits, put them in your bank account, make this all real, and then continue to do that and grow your portfolio. Again, I'll see you guys on the next video.